Mashuhuri, mabibi na mabwana, kwa sababu ya wenzetu walio wengi, nitaomba nizungumze kwa Kiingereza. Majirani wetu wa kutoka kule nyumbani Bongo, nitawaona pembeni baadaye. Our chief guest, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Dr. Masood Mwinyi. I'm here representing the Inspector General, National Police Service, Mr. Douglas Kanja. He has given me a speech, but then in the interest of time, and we also appreciate the fact that you need to be elsewhere at this time, I'll shorten his sentiments without losing the meaning of the message. Allow me to present to you greetings from the National Police Service under the leadership of the Inspector General, Mr. Douglas Kanja. It is indeed an honor to be part of this event, which brings together young scouts from 7 countries of our East African region. Besides coming together, the theme of this education camp, that is contemporary opportunities, greater impact, could not have been more better. Looking at the theme, appreciating what it is intending to achieve vis-a-vis the youth gathered here this afternoon, the theme is apt and the intention could never be more noble than it is now. As youngsters whom the society looks up to for leadership of tomorrow, this platform is very, very appropriate. The values by which scouts uphold, the training which you go through from a very early stage, the exposure from various areas which you constantly benefit from, are all elements which are aimed not only at shaping you, but also at preparing you for the tomorrow which is ahead of you. These are elements then that you must cherish and you must hold dear at all times. I know that although you come from different countries, the elements that you continue to cover are largely similar. This also speaks volumes about our society today. The society is diverse, but we will realize that everything that is found in Kenya is up to 90% found in Uganda, found in Tanzania, found in Rwanda, etc., etc. So the society mirrors each other. So as we sit down for one full week here, let us share the challenges and the opportunities, but also let us come up with solutions and ideas which are enriched with innovativeness to enable us address, overcome, and also act as role models. Remember, when we march through here, when we dress in this attire, we are the mirror of the society out there. And that mirror should reflect what we want to see. Our society has both challenges and opportunities, as well as difficulties and solutions. All this should spur us to be more resilient, taking advantage of the opportunities and learning from the challenges. True element. For us to be citizens of value to our society, we need to pay heed to what is taught to us and have a firm resolve of aiming to create an impact in the society. This one full week should not be taken as a time away from our busy schedules up there. It must mean something. It must add value. And when we live here, we should be able to say, indeed, we benefited when we were in Kenya. Remember, the most notable impact is not created at the societal level, but at the individual level. As the theme says, creating impact. The impact, as much as is being looked upon by the society, begins from you as an individual. So if we aspire to have the impact The impact we desire to see in the society must come from the self first. We must therefore first resolve to be impactful as individuals before we come together as a critical mass to impact the society. Today, education has become a very dear and expensive commodity. Many children, boys and girls, crave for quality education, and yet not all of them are lucky to get any type of education. For this matter, therefore, I would urge you to focus on your education at all times, knowing that above all else, discipline is the foundation of your success. This education will mean nothing if it will not impact in you, the society, and the people who sacrifice to see you through the education. Make it count. Be respectful, be faithful, be trustworthy, and be dependable, because a lot of resources have been invested and continue to be invested to give you what you require. And it will be a tragedy if we let all this investment to be in vain. Having said that, I want to join my fellow dignitaries and the guests in wishing you a very successful and impactful event. Thank you, and may God bless you.
We're going to appreciate him with a simple yell. When I say polisi, you say Rafiki. Polisi! Polisi! Thank you.
Thank you for the yell. Polisi Rafiki indeed. And now we'll be inviting the Kenya Defense Forces, Brigadier Lubalo, to come. And you know, the general cannot just walk here without some sound. Yeah, hey, some quick sound. I wanted the other sound. They're from the other end, but they are not ready.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you, thank you. Our chief guest, the Cabinet Secretary for Youth, Creative Economy and Sports. Dignitaries present, led by the Chair of the Eastern Scout Zone. The Chief Commissioners are present, all heads of delegations, and of course the different delegations from different countries. Good afternoon. First of all, I must acknowledge the good Swahili that Mr. Munyi has spoken. We still remember him during those days. Thank you very much for that. Sir, once again, my name is Brigadier Lobali. I come from the Kenya Defense Forces, and for today, I am here on behalf of the Chief of the Defense Forces, General Kariri, as your partners in the Scouts movement that espouses to develop leadership. So on behalf of the Chief of the Defense Forces of Kenya, General Charles Kariri, whom I am privileged to represent today, I am honored to stand before you at this remarkable gathering of a vibrant assembly of young minds and dedicated mentors. I can only say welcome. I extend a warm welcome to all delegates from all the East African countries and wish to tell them, have a plentiful time, learn a lot for the time you are here, build boundaries, share a lot. Allow me to take this opportunity once again to echo what has been said by congratulating the Kenya Scouts Association for its remarkable achievement over the years. Particularly, I've just been told it's not 4 million, for reaching 4.4 million. Kudos and thanks for that. This not only makes it the largest scouting association in Africa, but more importantly, highlights the potential of countless young Kenyans who are being empowered through scouting. Ongera once again. Whether we are soldiers or scouts, we face challenges. but we also encounter opportunities, even in the most difficult circumstances. This year theme, of course, focuses us on opportunities that can arise out of our interaction. I will just highlight briefly what we can learn and take from this theme. One, the importance of leveraging on technology and ICT cannot be gainsaid. I think from what the chief guest was on, from what we have demonstrated, we can leverage on this to be able to address some of the challenges that we have. Two, we also need to use social media as a catalyst for change on the positive side. Social media is no longer just a platform for entertainment. It is a powerful tool for advocacy, education, and mobilization, from environmental campaigns to youth-driven entrepreneurship. You need, therefore, to consider it as you address emergent challenges. Equally also, global connectivity for collaboration, from what you have seen even in the East African region and the larger Scout movement in the world. Through global connectivity, we can be able to address some of these challenges. Equally also, what has been said matters to do with climate change. This is a time for a call for action. We are happy to see the 11-year-old lady who is an ambassador, a good partner on what can be done so that we can be able to address issues. We know very well East Africa has felt the brunt of climate change, from floods to droughts, and these changes, of course, affect livelihoods. We in KDF, we have institutionalized climate change strategies through the so-called environmental soldier program, and we are already set into planting and growing over 15 billion trees. Our chief guest, sir, our CS, will be leading a tree planting for mangrove trees on 13th in Mombasa on Friday. The other thing, of course, is leadership for impact. Artist Art Scouting is about leadership and service. Leadership, of course, is not defined by title, but basically by what we do so that we can be impactful in many ways that touch so many. Lastly, of course, we need to seize the moment. We need to be there so that we can move forward. And in conclusion, to my fellow Kenyans, let me take this early opportunity to wish you a joyous Jamhuri Day, and to all of you, on behalf of the Chief of Defense Forces once again, I wish to wish you a joyful and peaceful festive season. Thank you, and may your discussions during this forum be fruitful and your actions once you leave impactful. Asanteni, Mungu awabariki. Thank you.
Timeless noise. Come on, cower with the dancing step. I go by the name Josh.
And right about now, we have a Ugandan team. The one Ugandan word we know is banange. We need to find out what it means. Karibu. So dear chief guest and our scouts, this is called a creative band. So this is creativity at its best. We know scouts to be very creative people. Amazing, wonderful, wonderful. This is how creative we can get. Nabado. Let's put our hands together for them. Very creative team.
Thank you very much. Looks like CBC has also gone into Uganda. Hiyo ni CBC at its best. Director from Ministry of Education was here, Bwana Mugambe. Unaona CBC, it's not just in Kenya, it's also in Uganda. But looks like Uganda guys have gone a little further. They are now creating material for brass band. That's very nice. Now, as they go around and stop, Bwana DCC, this will be opportunity, and I'll not speak again after this. It means imefika mahali sasa ninaogopa. You will, on behalf of the Chief Scout of Kenya, make your remarks and invite the chief guests to address this organization.
Nego kena, nakowasa.
Our chief guest, Cabinet Secretary for Youth, Sports and Creative Economy, dignitaries, Honorable Kipchumba Murkomen, dignitaries present, National Scout Board of Kenya, Scout Association, partners from various organizations and government departments, distinguished guests, scouts and their leaders. Bravo!
Whoa.
Bravo!
Whoa.
With your permission, sir, I would wish we welcome our delegation with that, our song, Jambo Kenya, so that we all stand, we sing one stanza. Jambo Kenya. DJ, kindly let us dance. Welcome our dignitaries.
Let's be on our feet.
Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni mwakaribishwa Kenya yetu, hakuna matata.
Jambo bwana, habari gani? Nzuri sana.
Jambo Kenya,
Put our hands together.
Nzuri
sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Kenya yetu, hatuna matata. Jambo Kenya, habari gani? Nzuri sana. Wageni wakaribishwa Kenya yetu, hakuna matata. Thank you very much. Thank you, CS. We are grateful for that. My name is Alice Kehongi, the Deputy Chief Commissioner, Kenya Scout Association. We want to appreciate all the guests. I'm here standing brief for our Chief Scout, Ambassador Professor Kaimenyi, who is engaged somewhere. He'll be joining us as we progress with the activities. Our chief guest, sir, it is a great moment for Kenyans to host East Africa Zonal Education Camp, Youth Forum, and the Chief Commissioners Conference. We last hosted in 2016, and on behalf of the Kenya Scout Association, I wish to thank you all for joining us in this event. All the participants in your various activities, the Youth Forum, the campus, the conference, and all the readers and commissioners who are supporting the various teams, feel most appreciated. With your permission, sir, we work with the national board, and with your permission, sir, I would request all the board members, kindly, it is good that we recognize you. Kindly come here and we appreciate you. Board members, kindly, wherever you are, you can stand here so that our chief guest can recognize you. This is the team that learn the management and operation of the Kenya Scouts Association. On my left, We have Director Mugambi from the Ministry of Education, our mother ministry. Let us appreciate him. I have Madam Joyce, who is a board member. We have our International Commissioner, Anthony Gitonga. Let us appreciate him. We have our young youth representative in the board, Elizabeth Nyamberi. We can appreciate her. We have Mr. David Olnanyoike, who is a board member, and we have Caleb, who is representing the special needs because of inclusivity. Let us appreciate all of them. Yes, thank you so much, board members. You can take your seats. I'll be very brief. Since the inception of Scouting has started, attached great importance to the promotion of brotherhood and understanding among young people of all nations. And that's why, sir, we have all the East African nationalities coming to this great event. In Africa, and more so in East Africa region, we have integrated the essence of brotherhood, illustrated by this great gathering of the 7 East Africa countries, which, sir, you saw our chief guest, all the teams which were presented before you with their flag. Our unity in purpose reinforces our beliefs and fundamental principles that guide our youth towards holistic development in the aim of them being constructive members of their society. And our chief guest, sir, you have seen how creative Scouts can be. So you are at home in the Scouting movement. Our Scout program will focus on current issues affecting our society, with the young people being in the forefront of the change we want. Today, in Scouting, we are not saying Scouts are leaders of tomorrow. We are telling them you are leaders of today by taking your positions and bridging the gap where the society needs to be supported. Our chief guest, sir, we are implementing climate change programs to build resilience to the impacts of climate change, such as droughts and floods. We have been participating in all corners of the country, and even our neighboring countries, they have those programs. We are also in the forefront advocating for food security, and as a zone, that is the 7 East African countries, we are implementing smart agriculture programs in our schools and also in our higher institutions of learning. That is from the TVET to the universities and to the polytechnics. We are all represented. The young people you can see wearing the yellow scarves, the lovers, they are from these institutions. Partnership are integral to our commitment and vision of engaging and inspiring the next generation of leaders. Chief guests, as evident, our programs are supported with partners who offer experts and resources in various fields to benefit our youth as we train them. In a special way, sir, we want to appreciate your ministry. You have been coming very hardy. Anytime we have such international events, you have always received a lot of support from the youth ministry. We also appreciate our partners, the KDF, the National Police, and all other partners who have come in handy when we have such great events. As I conclude, I want to quote some statements from our founder, Lord Baden-Powell. When the young citizens, male and female, in all countries are brought up to look upon their neighbors as brothers and sisters in the human family, allied together with a common aim of service and sympathetic helpfulness towards each other, They will no longer think as serious force in terms of war, as against rivals, but in terms of peace and goodwill towards one another. Lord Baden-Powell, I call upon all of us to continue embracing the spirit of unity that binds us as a movement for the betterment of our young people and the youth of this region, because we are one people in all the 7 countries, and gearing together to bring up those young people to become responsible citizens who are useful to their mother countries and who can contribute to the growth and development of their nationalities. It's now my humble duty to invite our chief guests and all the members. Kindly, let's stand up, and we have a good song. Let's have a dance DJ for our chief guest. He is a youth. A good song for our guest. A good song for our guest.
Please be seated. Thank you very much. Asante sana. The chief commissioners of Scout from the 7 East Africa community countries, our other guests led by the representative of the KDF, Brigadier Faustin Lubali, and Dr. Masood Mwinyi representing our police service, our assistant IG, the distinguished guests who are here from all the countries of East Africa community, ladies and gentlemen, good afternoon. Amjambo. Good afternoon. I am very, very pleased this afternoon to be in the presence of such illustrious team of young people. You look very, very beautiful. Even when your presentation here, you did a fantastic job. And I'm very happy that when I was invited to come for this auspicious occasion, I am glad that I said yes, because for so many years, I've only heard about what Scouts can do and where they go for camping, but I've never had the opportunity to have this close interaction with such a big team of Scouts in the entire region. And I want to say thank you very much for having me. I just want to make a few remarks. I do not want to tire you. I actually want to buttress what already has been said by so many people here. First is to say that Scouting is a very important position anyone can hold. And I want to say so because if you look at the values and the principles that guide Scouting, it gives me greater pleasure and appreciation and an even deeper appreciation of what it means to be a Scout and why it is important you are here. You have values that are foundation of Scouting, such as integrity. We live in a society now that so many people are lacking integrity. And I'm glad that Scouting has integrity as a foundation. It has respect. It's important to understand that some of us who grew up in a different generation than many of young people who are here understand that we grew up when we knew that respect was there by force, being forced by our parents and the society. And we grew up in a society where there was an appreciation generally that a child grows as part of community, that it takes a village to grow a child. But in the society that we live now, that is increasingly individualistic and driven by globalization and particularly technology, it's become very difficult to track the respect that people have for each other. If you look at social media and you look at the age of the people that are using social media, so many of those young people are using social media for the greater good, for content creation, for being able to share ideas, for being able to propagate their ideas, for activism for their country, demanding more accountability and justice for their nation. But there is a smaller group of people who are of younger generation and have total disrespect, not just for themselves, but also for their friends, for their country, for their seniors, and for their leaders. And I think being a scout helps these young people to restore the dignity of respect among the young people, irrespective of the country and irrespective of the region. And I'm glad that you are here. Being a scout person is an opportunity for you to demonstrate the principles of care. Again, when we grew up, as some of us of my age and maybe above, and slightly below me and above, we knew that it's our responsibility to take care of our society, of our environment, of our parents. But now we have a society where, because of globalization and pressure of society, every man unto, and every woman unto himself or herself. And being a scout restores us back to our value system, which was the original value system of being an African, to make sure that you can take care of your parents, you can take care of your sister if you are a man, you do not have to engage in violence, you do not have to violate another person, you don't have to fight your sister, you do not have to propagate gender-based violence, because you have brought up with values of care. And I believe that you are going to be the solution to those issues in society that we are grappling with, because you are growing up in an environment where care is an important issue. It's also, I am told that the biggest principle for all scouts is cooperation, because you go out for, hiking, you work together in teamwork. Even in this camp, there is a greater enhancement of matters of teamwork, and therefore helps you to cooperate together. I just want to say this, that this is an important principle, especially as an East Africa community, which is founded on the principle of cooperation among East Africa country members, but not just the members. If you read the treaty that establishes East Africa community, it emphasizes the importance of making sure that the East Africa community is founded on people-to-people relationship. We always often think about it's a custom union, it is a monetary union, and then we think about the political federation. But we need to appreciate that in all those principles we are talking about and milestones of East Africa community, the center of this cooperation that we have is the people. And therefore, being a scout, and particularly having taken the time to come together as East Africa community, fosters and propagates the principle of that establishes the East Africa community, that we need to cooperate together, people to people. Today, we are standing here, we are sitting here, we have our members of parliament from the entire East Africa community congregating in Mombasa, playing sports, because East Africa community is about people to people. Our disciplined forces have a way of interacting together, people to people. We, as cabinet secretaries and ministers from East Africa community, always meet in different sectoral teams, because we want to foster this cooperation. And therefore, as a scouts, I appreciate you for coming together to make sure that you foster the principles of East Africa community. As young people, the reason why we say these things is because your life as a young person is like a blank page of a book. You have an opportunity to write your history. If you get many of your parents and older people and you ask them, if you had a chance to go back and become young again, most of them wish that they had taken the opportunity to learn, to interact with more people, to do things differently. And as a young person, when you are told, and as Dr. Mwinyi said here, about something to do with discipline, if you are told discipline is important, It may sound like it's a cliche. It's like a statement that is even said all the time. You've heard from your teachers, you've heard from your parents, you hear from your elders all the time. But that the foundation of a better life in future is founded on having a disciplined life. And therefore, I want to encourage you that as young people, take this chance seriously. This is an opportunity. You are being mentored for leadership. There is no other way you can take over leadership of your country if you do not take the opportunity you have as scouts as seriously as you should, because it is the foundation for your growth. I want to say also that you have unique challenges. Your challenges are not the challenges of your parents. Your challenges are not the challenges of your grandparents, and are not the challenges of the founding fathers of our nation. But these challenges are presenting themselves in different forms, but the principles of resolving those challenges are the same. It is discipline. It is being respectful. It is having the opportunity to be able to learn from others, which is therefore you must listen. The principles that helps you to navigate the challenges of your time. And what are these challenges? One is that you are growing up in a society based and founded on lots of technology. The speed at which life is moving is very fast. And I know for us it's very fast, but for you it's normal. And because of the challenges that come with technology, with TikTok, with Instagram, with Snapchat, with WhatsApp, the ability to connect with people globally is a positive thing, but also it comes with its own challenges. The question we ask ourselves, there is an advancement beyond just technology. The normal technology, we know we have artificial intelligence now being the present and the future. And therefore, the question you ask yourself, how can you use this artificial intelligence to better yourself, to become better people in society? But how do you protect yourself from the bad manners that comes with technology? You are young and you are in school. You are given an assignment to go and write a report or to write a paper. Because of artificial intelligence, you quickly go to your phone, and using artificial intelligence, you ask them to do for you an assignment. What does that do for you? It makes you to become a zombie. You lack you end up being a zombie dependent on this technology because you are unable to think on yourself, on your own. You are unable to create ideas on your own. So we must be able to ask ourselves as scouts, even in this conference, how are we going to prepare the young people to be able to confront the challenges that come with this kind of technology? You must be the answer of your generation to these challenges. You must be the leaders of your generation. You must distinguish yourself as unique people. You must set yourself apart to become recognizable as persons, as young people who are the solution, who have the answer, or who work hard to seek the answer of the things that face your generation. Because of this also technology, and because of the fast moving life, one of the problems you are going to confront is mental health. And I have heard here being spoken, and I've seen in the exhibitions there, the people who are working hard to confront the challenges of mental health. How do you move away from 100% technology to marrying technology with physical exercise, being able to play, being able to walk, being able to think, being able to use your physique to do things? It is important for you to have that discipline to distinguish those issues. How do you deal with situations and challenges of life? Are you going to say, if you're confronted by every challenge, you say, I want to kill myself, I want to end my life? How are you going to share ideas with your friends and help them when they are going through grief or challenges or problems, so that you are available for them to help them navigate through challenges of life? Therefore, mental health is going to be a big challenge for you. Drug abuse is going also to continue being a challenge, and it has been a challenge. And this kind of discipline should be able to help you to navigate and avoid alcohol abuse, drug abuse, and to be able to grow up as a person who is upright in society. The other challenge you are going to face is climate change. And I'm glad you are having a conversation here. The people who are here role models in terms of planting trees and confronting challenges of drought, floods, and so many other challenges in society. Again, thank you for taking the initiative, for those who are taking the initiative to plant trees. We have a plan in Kenya to plant 15 billion trees in the next 10 years. And I invite all of us as East Africans to make sure that we become persons who are looking after our environment, because if we look after our environment is going to look after us. I urge you to take this conference very seriously. I urge you to take the interactions and the friendships seriously. I ask you to make sure that you exchange numbers, emails, to be able to continue this interaction, because your future is not in your locality, in your village. It is you growing to be a global citizen, to be an East African, to be an African, and to be a global citizen. I've come here to wish you the very best, to tell you that the government of Kenya supports the Scouts. We know what we have done together. We're between us and the government. You have heard Mr. Mugambi is here, the parent ministry that supports Mata Scouts, and the rest of the country and the departments of government that have come together to support Scouts. We will continue doing so. As a Ministry for Youth, we are going to continue partnering with you, as we agreed recently, to make sure that some of your programs are supported by the ministry for you to be able to advance and to be able to provide solutions to the challenges that are facing young people. We are dealing with also issues of we are also propagating and supporting creative economy, like the creative young men and women here from Uganda. We want to make sure that the talent that you have is turned into money. That is why we have our Talenta Hela crusade in the ministry, to make sure that as many of young people have an opportunity to turn their talent into money. And therefore, you have our full support. I appreciate you for having me come here. You have made me better person today. I've learned something new, and I believe that the lessons I've learned as a result of this conference shall also help me to appreciate and support other young people who may want to do what you do as Scouts from the East African community. With those many remarks, it is now my singular duty and pleasure to declare this conference officially open. Thank you very much.
When I say VIP, you say very important person. VIP. When I say VVIP, you say very, very important person. VVIP. VVIP. DJ.
You know, Mheshimiwa, you are a youth leader. May we have your permission to ask you to remove your scarf? Yes. And if the chief guest can remove, who are we? So that we dance this song together. DJ, if you're ready in 1. Wait a minute. Yes, tunatoa scarf kwa ndugu na dada wa Tanzania, tunatoa. Alafu Sara, wale wanataka kusaidia kuruka hii ngoma njooni. That's one me. Haya DJ. Haya.
Are you ready? Let's go.
Haya chief guest, tunajua unaweza hii mambo. Thank you for declaring the camp officially opened. We will be here up to Thursday, dear chief guest. Thank you for being a wonderful youth leader. Brother Sheldon. Haya DJ inaisiende sana. DJ in 1, 2, 3, 4. Asante sana Scouts. Aho!
Aho yaya!
Thank you. Thank you. Dear Chief Guest, with your permission, we now ask that we do pass the vote of thanks and we come to the end of this ceremony.
Thank you. Honorable CS, my name is Sheldon Kumbu. I'm the National Youth Leader for Kenya Scouts Association and also the chairperson for the Eastern Africa Zonal Forum. Mine is a humble duty just to
Merry Christmas!
Katika msimu huu wa Krismasi, Sound Candy Talk inakujali. Una mkutano wa warsha, ibada ya hadhira, una matangazo ya biashara, unauza au unanunua. Sound Candy Talk imepunguza ada ya kupeperusha matangazo. Wasiliana nasi kwenye barua pepe soundcandytalk@gmail.com au piga simu 0718454585. Vile tufuate kwenye mitandao yote ya kijamii @soundcandytalk. Sound Candy Talk. Tunakutakia siku kuu njema za Krismasi na mwaka mpya wa 2025. Je, una maoni, malalamishi au kauli kinzani? Tunakusikiliza kwa maana wewe unatutazama. Wasiliana nasi kwenye simu 0718454585 au andika ujumbe mfupi katika barua pepe soundcandytalk@gmail.com. Tumekuwa kipaumbele kudadavua taarifa za kutwa kila siku kwenye Open Forum Political Show. Tangu Januari, sasa Disemba tunayo. Tunachukua nafasi ya kipekee kusema asante mtazamaji na mpenzi wa kipindi cha Open Forum Political Show na Sound Candy Talk. Unaposherehekea sikukuu ya Christmas na mwaka mpya, tunakuahidi mema zaidi. Sound Candy Talk, we wish you Merry Christmas and Happy 2025.